Sneha, we have known for many years. I think we started off as sari lovers, and then, but during those days also, I knew you more as a classical dancer. But lately, when I'm seeing your post on Instagram and through our conversations, I'm understanding that you have started an entirely different journey of spirituality and being an astrologer and healing people. And I know that you have been into a corporate world for almost 14 years, you said, right?
Yeah.
14 years. And you were into banking.
Yes.
So, what was the whole shift from that corporate world to a spiritual journey? What was the trigger or the point that made you change?
Very frequently asked question, by the way. Thank you, Bindu, for calling me for such a beautiful space. And I always say you're more than a friend to me. There's some energy connect which
Yeah,
happens.
exactly.
And okay, so this is a very frequent question which always people ask me. How come from a banker, especially risk, to what I am today?
Yeah.
So a simple one-line answer would be, I chose to be a banker or that profession, but the universe or the Almighty chose me for this.
Yeah, great.
So, there's something which is beyond your hands.
Yes.
There is always a spiritual space, or I would say the universal energy. You can name it any form, but the supreme light that is always inside us. So that is what made me sit before you for what we are talking today. So it's been a long journey, and it's a journey ongoing, because spirituality or astrology, it's a very vast ocean.
Yes.
It's a journey. It is never an end. So I'm still learning, and I'm very grateful for all the teachers who've passed through my life or still there, where I'm here, and whatever knowledge I have, I'm able to spread it out. So it's like, one thing which I, as a child, I always felt that if I can get smile onto a person's face, then I'm happy. So I think that is something which I still follow. So it's a long journey, and it's an ongoing journey, but very interesting.
I'm sure you're getting smiles to a lot of people's lives as well, right?
Yes.
With your
We
with
are just
whatever
tool.
you're doing.
Yeah, we are just tool. Like,
Yes,
we are
yes,
those
yes.
empty pen where the ink comes from the top to write.
There will be a point where you understood that you have it in you, where you can help people, change people, or maybe heal them in some way or the other. There would have been some point, right, that you realize that you have it in you.
Actually, I think more than me, my family had that faith. I would say my husband, for sure, because when I left banking, as a child, I was very intuitive, always.
Okay.
And my dreams used to come true. But my mom was a tool where she never told me that, okay, don't see, or don't, she never scared me off. She's like, it's okay, accept it and move on. And then it just went off. And I was very, I would say that time, religious or ritualistic. But then life takes a turn. But at the same time, when I told I want to learn astrology, my parents were like, are you serious? From a banker, what you're doing? You've just taken a break. But the person who really believed in me was my husband.
Okay.
Yes. I have to give it to him.
I'm sure, because intuitions, and it's always related to people in the family, and especially to your husband.
Yes. Because he never, he's like, he never mocked. He's like, give it a try.
Try. Yeah,
What is wrong in studying something?
That's what.
And then when I started this journey, my children were very young.
Okay.
Very young. So I have to give those kids where eventually, so they both are also very sensitive now. They understood when mama has to travel, because in this, you have to travel a lot. You have to study from different people.
True.
And at that point, I think my pillar were my parents, because they came, they took care of my children. Because why I am telling this is very important is, everything starts from the inner circle.
Exactly.
It's always from your soul.
Exactly.
So in the lineage where I follow, we say it's a little Tamil language, but I have to put it in that way, where we say andam pindam. That means what is there out there, it is inside you. The same way, when you utilize that in your materialistic world, you will understand what is your inner circle is what you will reflect it out. So I would say family is important. Close friends are very important. When people believe in you, you start believing in yourself.
And I think it's the same thing what you have been telling people. The kind of positivity or whatever energy that is around you, that also helps you to grow. So I'm sure that you must have got that push from there as well.
Yes, very much. I think today Kadambari Solutions is only because of my clients. And every client, when I started this journey, came to me and tell, ma'am, you should do, you should have your letterhead, you should have your things, you should have, everyone motivated me even
Yeah.
till the time of having a Facebook page,
Okay.
having a Insta page.
Okay.
And there are a lot of my students now pushed me to do.
Okay.
There is a very good close friend of mine who comes and does videos for me now, and I keep bugging her for that. So every person is a very important what you say
Element in your growth, yeah.
or we say a diamond in this journey.
Journey.
So I think I should be thankful to all of them before I even talk anything about
Understood.
myself.
And how long did you take to learn and understand that, yes, I am ready to help people, or I am ready to share my knowledge or my intuitions, or whatever you call in your language, with others? Or
I think I still don't feel I'm completely ready. I'm still in the journey of getting more and more tools.
We are never completely, there.
Never. A person can never be completely ready, because the moment you start feeling that you're ready, that means your learning curve stopped.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a very interesting journey, but I think I used to have a lot of energy gush in my hand. And my mom is a Reiki healer, like not professionally, but she just learned it for her happiness when I was young. So she told me, yeah, this happens. So you just start passing it on. Then I met through a friend, another friend, and she used to do healings and stuff like that. So she told, yeah, I follow Siddha lineage, so I can surely introduce you to my teacher. I told, okay, fine, what is wrong? Learning a subject is no wrong. Then so I have a living guru who is in Malaysia, who is an Indian. His name is Jyoti Siddhar Shri Pranaji, who is a very normal man. You will just look at him and you'll be like, okay, he's a guru. He will just wear shorts and a t-shirt and walk into your studio and tell, okay, this healing is done, and you will see changes. So I think that is my spiritual part of it. Yes. Then when you talk about astrology, Vastu, yes, I started astrology as proper Vedic astrology to learn.
I heard something like a Vedic astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're into that, right?
Yes.
So that's something very new, in fact. I mean, I've heard about it, but I really don't understand what exactly it is.
Okay.
So could you just
so when you talk about astrology, it's simple. It's normal astrology is called Vedic astrology. That means it actually is inscripted from the Vedas, the pure knowledge of it. Yes. So apart from that, I do one step above, which is called karmic astrology. Because your astrological chart is very much connected to your karma. Like sometimes you say, you go to an astrologer and he's telling, oh, superb time, excellent time, nothing can go wrong. But your life will be completely opposite.
Opposite of what is there, yeah.
So then you lose faith in astrology. Because first we have to understand astrology is a science.
Science, yeah.
It's a pure calculation.
Yes.
So nobody can reach 100% calculation. And sometimes we say, when your time is bad, even the astrologer, the best of best astrologer cannot reach that place.
Okay.
So it's also, there is some power beyond us. So sometimes when we sit in that space, we have to surrender.
Understood.
Any astrologer can only show you or guide you till 75%.
Yeah, I think it's more of a guidance and showing you what to do or what is your next step, those kind of stuff, rather than giving you a precise prediction. Right? Yeah, this is going to happen. I believe that nobody can do that other than give a guidance.
Exactly. Because see, what happens is prediction is also connected somewhere to your karma. You do all wrong things and then you come back and you say that, oh yeah,
I want this done. That
yes,
doesn't happen.
Because it's a very, on a simple language, as you go to a doctor, approach an astrologer. Your doctor is telling that, your cholesterol is high, you're in borderline sugar. If you don't change your lifestyle or start exercising, you're not going to be saved, right? So the astrologer will also show you that kind of a guidance. The myth is that, oh yeah, there are people who come with blind faith, and I tell them that no, don't put that blind faith onto us. put faith into yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
So, you can change things. We are here to guide you. I can give you solutions, but if you're not working for yourself,
Yeah.
we say no,
Understood,
God
understood.
helps those who help
Help
themselves.
themselves, yeah.
So then, because there is no practicality when it comes to astrology,
Yeah.
that is why this beautiful science or knowledge is dying off. There are certain solutions which normal people cannot do.
Understood.
If instance, if somebody comes to me and I tell them, no, every day you have to sit and chant for 1 hour, would you have time?
Yeah, true.
Nobody has time.
The world has changed so much. Maybe, earlier, ancient days, that was possible because people lived basically on that. But these days, people don't have, even if you say a ritual that is for 5 minutes, they cannot do it.
Yeah.
So, comparing, you have been into a corporate world.
Yeah.
So, your clients or the people that come to you for support or guidance, they're from what kind of background?
Oh, I get lot, every kind.
Yeah.
And there is no religion to it.
Yeah,
That's
of
the
course.
best part about it.
Yeah.
Because maybe I am here in Dubai, so I see all country nationalities coming in,
Okay.
where they do believe, and some of them are very knowledgeable. Okay, they really know about astrology.
Okay.
So it could be a housewife to a corporate top person,
Yeah.
because see, in this also we really are discreet about
Yes,
things,
yes. But is the
because
approach same of a housewife and of somebody who is from a
no,
corporate world?
no. So
I
now,
think just one this corporate world, I would think they would rely more on a logic stuff. Is that so, or is it the other way?
I would not say that. It differs from person to person.
Okay.
I have seen a very corporate person who was some completely blinded or by
Yeah.
rituals and things like that.
Okay.
At the same time, a normal person is like, no, I need logic to it. So it
Okay.
is not about what you do. It's about your personality, how you are. So that is very important for us to approach or to
Exactly.
give them solutions.
But again, when do they feel that they need to see an astrologer or someone who can help them in healing? Is it some inner calling or something they have faced, or there's some change of situation, or they're into a scene? What is the trigger to approach?
Now, astrology and healing are completely different subjects. Okay, they are intermingled somewhere because spirituality is like a big map, But astrology is very different, and healing is completely different. So let's touch astrology first. Okay, now when do you go to an astrologer? Simple, as the previous statement of mine was, how you meet a doctor.
Yeah,
So
same.
because you
When you
have
have
some
an issue.
problem, right? The same way, you go and meet an astrologer when things don't work according to your wish.
Wish, yeah.
Right? We all want everything to work according to our wish.
Wish, yeah.
And failures or health issues, financial issues.
Okay.
So
Things that were not expected.
exactly. And also something which is not going according to your will.
Yeah.
Okay, or you're putting in a lot of hard work where you're not getting that output,
result, yeah.
basically. So these things are where people start looking out for an astrologer.
Yes.
And who believe in this science.
Yeah.
So I have seen people coming, the husband believes a lot, the wife doesn't believe.
Yeah.
So this is very, a different journey.
Understood.
Yeah. But I have young children who believe.
Oh, really?
Because in fact, this is very important because I always believe that this science should reach to the next generation. So I have young children who are in a place where what career to choose.
Okay.
They come in, they clear the karma, they understand. So because I go down to their level and explain this whole concept of astrology or karmic clearance or things, so they are very open to accept. But I'll tell you one thing, this generation is much more evolved spiritually than ritualistically.
Oh, really?
Yes, very
because
much.
I was under a completely different understanding because I was thinking the Gen Z,
Gen Z, yes.
They are completely out of this. They are in a different world, different universe that we say.
Yeah. But it's just that, Gen Z's code or this is, you tell them to do something, without explanation, they will not do it.
They will not do it. They need
you
to
will
understand.
have to give them logical part of it.
Okay.
You will have to make them experience things. And obviously, right, I can talk 100 things, but if I don't make you experience, you will not believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
Simple, if healings are always about you experiencing something more. And then you come back and then you tell, yes, there is some change happened to me. So life is always, everybody wants change. We say, no, we want to go to Sharjah, but to that old clinic, to that doctor.
Doctor.
Why? Why is
Because
that?
that trust lies completely there.
Exactly. So I have clients who are 10 years old who still want to come back at
Yeah, that
times.
is
And
because
yeah.
maybe they find the results, and they
Yes.
feel that you are giving the proper guidance.
Yeah.
So if astrology is about the guidance, then what is healing about?
Okay. Healing is all about energy.
Energy. Yeah.
Now, what happens is everyone is a healer. Okay, I would not say everyone is an astrologer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, astrology is very
It's something
different
entirely different thing, yeah.
science where you have to have precision, you have to have knowledge, you have to understand, you have to learn, you have to memorize
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
lot. So that's a gift again. Your what you speak, there has to be grace which comes through.
Okay.
So that is astrology part. But when healing comes, all mothers in this universe are healers.
Healers, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
We say, no, mother's touch is the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So nature is a healer itself.
Yeah.
Like when you're very stressed, you may just go and speak to your friend on a beachside. That's a healing therapy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why? Because that's the energy. So we are very much surrounded with different energies.
Energy, yeah.
So you go to a particular house and you feel very not happy about
Uncomfortable,
it.
yeah.
You feel like
You feel there is something off about it.
off
yeah.
about it, or you may get a headache or something,
yeah.
because that energy there is not. Energies are frequencies. Energy is always on a frequency. Energies are connected to the 5 elements, if you see.
Okay.
Right, to the Panjabhutam, which we say.
Yes.
So these are all energies. So when you keep, like simple, you wear a ring, that has got your energy signature.
Okay.
That is why we say it's very important whom you allow to touch your feet.
Yeah.
Like if you see, because we are from Kerala, so we can give surely, we can relate to it.
Okay.
Our Tirumenis or when we go to temples, they never allow to touch.
Touch them, yeah, true. That is the reason why we are not allowed to touch them.
Because they are in a very high energy spectrum. Simple, on a simple language. They are in the top of Burj Khalifa and you are down. So always energy will flow from top to down.
Yeah, yes.
But what happens is when you touch, your negativity passes there as well.
Okay.
That's the reason. It's not that, they want to.
I understand.
Yeah. So energy.
But again, you were mentioning about touching feet of elders, the custom that all Indians follow. So what is that? It is that some people, we do feel, we can take their blessing. But I've seen many who, anyone who is elder to them, they will just go and touch their feet. So, but what do you think about it? Is it a good practice or something that shouldn't be, done to everyone that you see as an elder?
See, because I come from Bombay, so I've seen different North Indians, South Indians, East Indians, everyone, So if you see North, it's a ritual. It's a must.
Yeah. Must, yeah.
Okay. But we South Indians don't do
We don't do that.
We don't do normally
we
like
don't
that.
Do that. Especially Keralites don't do that much.
Yes. So I would say I'm not the right person to say it's good or wrong or right.
Okay.
But first of all, it has to come from your heart. Everything is intention.
We have to feel it.
Feel it. Second thing, you want to bow before them, but don't touch their feet.
Touch their feet, exactly.
Okay. Sometimes certain things are customs. You do it, kind of a thing. So if you take as a custom, do it.
Yeah.
But are you going to surrender in that thing? I don't think so.
True.
Because again, going back to my spiritual guru, it's a very important thing which I think this generation would accept it, is because he has never allowed anyone to touch his feet, not us, for years. I'm talking about, because we see and spiritual gurus and they feel that you have to bow down
to
and
them,
things like that. Why? Because simple thing he tells. My soul resides in you. Your soul resides in me. Soul is same. Soul is pure light. In Islam, they say Noor, which is the ultimate light. So that is what it is. So where is the, it's equality, right?
True. Yeah,
people don't realize it. Why do you need to do that?
Because, see, why I ask this question, I've seen many parents who ask their children, Kal Tota Namaskar, Pair Chuo. Then that's the kind of things that they instruct their children to do. You see an elder, just touch their feet and take blessings. But is it really required? Because we don't know the person who is standing in front of us. they could be entirely having an entirely different energy. And
Exactly.
we don't know the mindset as well. So if we are bowing to somebody who doesn't wish us well, then what is the point of doing the whole thing?
Very beautiful question.
That's
Bindu,
what-
actually, because this, as mothers and this set of parents where
Yeah.
we are stuck between that generation and this generation.
Exactly.
So that generation doesn't understand. Oh, we didn't behave like this. You didn't behave like this. But how can your children ask this?
Exactly.
They are valid. They can ask. Asking question is increasing knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, in one aspect, yes, they need to bow down, because that is where you cut their ego and
yeah.
teach them that, yes, an elderly person is to be respected.
Yes.
A boy's mother need to teach that you have to respect women in any form.
Yes.
Yeah, the same way a girl needs to learn that, yeah, any elderly person, you cannot talk anything. You need to respect. So that could be an angle on a social ground, I would say. But on a spiritual ground, you are perfectly right. Everybody's energy, we don't need to take.
Exactly.
So I would again reiterate that don't touch the feet.
Just bow.
You bow down. And when you are bowing down, you think that you're bowing down not to the person, to the soul inside, because every soul is pure, as sometime back I
again,
told you.
how many children would take that? See, when you're saying cutting off ego, so that boy or a girl would be doing it just because his mother or father instructed. But again, they're not doing it with a full heart. I'm sure I've seen faces when I see this kind of scenes. I've seen faces, the kind of thing, faces the children make.
Yeah.
But is it, what is the outcome then? They're not getting anything. Like when you said cutting the ego, or, they are completely doing it out of, it's like an instruction from somebody and they're doing it. That's it. For them, it's just that.
Sometimes certain things which our parents, like our parents, told us to do, and we blindly did it. We didn't ask them questions.
No,
we've come from that generation.
But our children will ask us questions.
100%. They should ask, okay?
Yeah.
But still it did good for us.
Yeah.
So even if they didn't do it with good intention, or they made faces about it, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It will still yield you good, because you're not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You're not drastically doing something bad here. You're not taking, you're following some norm or a ritual, let's take that way.
Okay.
So again, now let me connect this a little more to astrology. Now, when you respect an elderly person, automatically your Jupiter in your chart gets stronger.
Okay.
So it is, and
but again, if it is not a full-hearted thing, does it help you?
Somewhere it's like it's a funny thing, but okay, you had a portion of biryani, let's say, okay, and some biryani is left, okay, and then you're like, okay, what should I do with this biryani? Let me take this biryani and throw it on the road.
Okay.
You're not giving it to anybody.
Yeah,
okay. So understand the concept. So you're throwing it on the road. What happens? Those ants are eating. There is a stray dog who comes and eats
Someone
the fruit.
is benefiting.
Someone is benefiting. Okay. So without knowing, you are collecting that good karma into your life. Take it that way.
Oh, okay.
So even if the intention is not good,
yeah.
you have, taken the best out of it.
Again, I'll cut you there. Just to understand, what if the child has a huge disliking towards that person who he is bowing down to?
You should not make it.
How do we, most of the times parents don't know that my son doesn't like that chacha or that mama.
Why he doesn't like? Then it goes to the root cause, because nowadays,
yes, that is what
very
I'm coming.
Scary,
yes,
when
exactly
a person,
my point, because most of the parents don't know what is the kind of dislike the child has towards that person they are asking to bow down to.
Yeah, because how did he behave with them?
Exactly. And so when the moment the parent is forcing them, the child is forced to do that what would I say, hatred. What is the point? Then
there's
again,
no point. Yes. See, and one more thing, here when you talk about this, it's more of a parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
You cannot be a parent to a child after a certain age.
Exactly.
You have to be a friend.
Exactly. You have to be a friend. We live in that era.
Yes. As your child is growing up, you need to grow up
with them. Exactly.
Yes, you need to exercise your right and ground them when you have to be a parent.
We have to be.
But most of the time, you have to be a friend.
Friend, yeah.
That is 100% true.
But it's a question that how many of them are like that.
that
We are
we need to.
deviating from the topic. I'll come
No,
bring you back to it.
yeah, this topic is so vast,
It's so
and
vast, yeah.
it will never end, because
Exactly.
parenting is a very, very personal space.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Again, since you mentioned healing, just one question that I would want to ask most of the healers, and we see a lot of healers around.
Yeah.
The moment you open Insta, they're all healers, but before you started healing people, did you heal yourself?
Yes, you have to
Okay.
continuously heal yourself,
Yes, that's
because you have your own traumas, you have your overthinking, you have, because see, traumas are, how it is. You clean your glass,
Yeah.
something more will come. Nothing. For three friends, two of them get together, you are left alone. Started? You start overthinking?
Exactly.
Simple. I'm not even getting into
So,
family.
do you think that healers get out of this kind of emotion, or
They balance it.
okay? So, in case they get into this, do they try to overcome it, or they cut it off completely? Even for the, is it possible to cut it off completely? Those kind of emotions.
No. Healers are humans, first of all.
That's what I was trying to
They
understand.
have to go through their own journey of understanding it, uh, because it's a karmic circle.
Okay.
So I cannot talk for other healers for sure, because everybody will have their
No,
own
precisely
journey.
I'm asking you that
Yeah.
question.
So
So, do you feel that, it's like, like you said, we're all humans. We have our own emotions, but we all, even without being a healer, we just reach a certain point where we overcome all these emotions.
Yes.
Right? Like, we think that, yeah, it is there, this thing, it is my this thing. I take care of my own energies.
Yes.
We all decide that, right? We all
Yes.
reach a point.
Yes.
So, for a healer, that could be much easier to do.
It's
right?
on your approach.
Approach, yeah.
So if you ask me, if something bad happens to me, or emotionally, or mentally, or even physically, okay, I tell, very good, my one karma is over. And with this emotional turmoil, what did I learn?
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I've learned, and this is what I can help other person.
Exactly.
Simple, right? If I went through it, I know the pain of it.
Pain of it, yeah.
Healing happens when the unconditional heart is open, than the time healing happens.
Exactly.
Me sitting here, if I connect to your aura, I know exactly where your wounds are.
Understood.
But if I don't feel that, so, healer should not be a sponge.
Yeah.
Healer should
absorb.
feel it, but at the same time should not be a sponge.
Yeah.
So that is where I feel, when you take everything, we say no, if even a bowl of rice is kept before the Almighty, and when you eat, it becomes prasad.
Okay.
So every pain in your life, when you take it as a prasadam, you can be a healer.
Healer.
It is because you understood that this is not you who are doing it.
Okay.
And when you're doing healing, it's never you. As I told you, that we are just empty pens, the source is there.
Okay.
So, but to keep the pen clean is in your hands.
Okay.
That is what is a healer is different from a normal person.
Okay.
So, like, do you feel that I don't get angry? I think my family would completely differ from that. So, yeah, because I'm a normal person. In fact, spiritual people get angry more.
Okay.
You may see, because what happens is, you know the internal peace. You know that you're enacting in this body. You are at the top of Burj Khalifa, and suddenly you have to come down asking for this chai and this, this huss bus which is going. So it interrupts the frequencies.
Oh, okay.
So the anger,
you're up and then you're up down.
Right?
It's a fall.
Right? So
the fall causes the imbalance then.
Yes. The fall causes the imbalance. So to balance that, we continuously need to learn. See, being a monk and going and sitting in a forest is very easy.
Easy, yeah.
Being in this realistic life,
I would say more of an escapism.
Exactly. Managing with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in today's world, as we spoke, just social media, even we have to market ourselves. Unfortunate part is that. Because I would say that who market too much are not very true people. So, we say empty vessels make noise.
Yeah, make noise. Yeah, true.
So, that is the part, the whole game about it.
So how do you keep yourself protected from the kind of energies that walk into your space?
Very important.
Yeah.
That is very important. Because I am seeing horrifying experiences, my own clients. This is very important, because nowadays, as we say, the good is increasing, the bad is easily accessible. People see entity. I see this is like a normal norm for me. You see entity, you see energy blocks, you see people's jealousy, which what creates,
Okay, okay.
others' downfall. Nazar dosh, big problem. You put two photos in Instagram, third day you're fighting with your husband. Very common thing.
Yeah, true. I've
Means this
heard many
happens.
people saying this
See,
actually.
this happens. So, in fact, I had done a small series on Nazar, especially, but continuously you can't come to a astrologer or a person whom can help unless it's a very big problem. Okay, you need to protect yourself. So, small tips. What you do is you use sage or simple burn bay leaves with cloves with we call bhimseni kapoor.
Okay.
You can use that in your house evenings, or use it on a Saturday or a Wednesday. It will purify the aura of your house.
Okay.
Or put some, that certain people, guests are coming. Take a bowl to put some rock salt, put some alum, put some cloves into it, and keep it at the entrance. The moment they go out, flush it.
Flush it. Okay.
Simple things you can do. You cannot change people's intentions.
You can't.
You cannot
And you
change.
cannot assess people's energy also.
You
Whoever
cannot.
is walking
You
into the
cannot.
space.
So the point is, how much will you do it?
Yeah, true.
Sometimes they also don't realize it. See, there are innocent people, like, they feel like, so nice, but they don't know that their energy or their intention could spoil your life.
Yeah, true.
So this energy safeguarding is very important. And one more thing which I have seen many cases, honestly, Bindu, which youngsters especially, they need to take care of, is energy leakage through YouTube videos.
Okay.
What happens is, these children nowadays, they don't get sleep. There's a big problem. They say, I have anxiety, I have panic attacks. I understand. Yes, it is. We also had it. We didn't know how to name it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think we had a little lesser.
Less compared
because
to,
our world was different and
Our
social media was not into it as much.
Yes, that is one thing. And as I told, the spectrums are changing universally.
True.
Nowadays, children are more sensitive. So what happens is, they put this YouTube music, the shamanic music, this music,
understood.
yeah, this, we are sleeping in depth, it happens. So what happens is, such music sometimes, they are tuned to take your prana or take your energy.
Okay.
Like, or sometimes some entity gets attached to you, because in this world, in this materialistic world, what drives a person? Power. Money. The same way, on another world, what they require is energy, power. Power is from energy.
Okay.
So what happens is, innocent energy will give you much higher power.
Okay.
So this thing, people have to be very careful.
That's something new that I've heard
this
from
meditation, that meditation, chakra meditation, especially this Kundalini awakening. Nobody touches your Kundalini unless you're 100% sure.
Okay.
Because these things are fire to play with.
Yeah, something that you shouldn't be touching.
Yes, because there are a lot of nonsense which I see day in, day out, which is not required. Already we have enough of problems.
Yeah, true.
We are facing
Why
it.
add to it?
Why add to it? Why add to it, and why suffer because of that? Yes, that is also connected to your past karmas, where you get into this, or where brothers doing wrong to brothers. This is a very normal thing which I see, because there's so much of jealousy and desire to acquire everything overnight. Everybody wants 2 minutes Maggie. Greed has gone to next level.
Yeah.
And it sometimes puts us down when we see day in, day out.
That's true. But parallel to that, we see many people getting into healing, spirituality, and those kind of stuff. Maybe they're fed up of things that is happening around. They're fed up of things that has happened in their lives. Just want to get out. Again, more of many are into that. Especially, I come to know through social media.
Yeah.
So many are into these kind of things. Do this, do that. A lot of solutions to things. One thing I've heard is any house which has empty corners. There is no rooms that are shut for a lot of time, and those kind of spaces. Energy cleansing is very important, because negative energy can reside there. That's what. So I've heard that best thing to do is, like do the sage, and I think sound healing works there, right?
Sound, again, you have to be, that's frequency.
Yeah.
You have to be extremely careful. So now moving to a different bit of topic, which you're getting into houses, that's also based on your Vastu.
Okay.
So Vastu is a very important thing.
You do Vastu
Yeah,
as well,
I
right?
do
Yeah.
Vastu. Yeah, I do Vastu. So what happens is people feel that fixing 4 pyramids in 4 corners is Vastu. No.
No.
So you tell me which house is perfect
Yeah,
as
it's very
Vastu?
difficult. Yeah.
Especially this place, no.
Yeah.
Even in India, it's not possible.
It's not possible
It's
these
not
days. Yeah.
possible. Your main entrance cannot be the
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly.
It's not possible. Your water tank has to be somewhere else. Your what you say, your sewage is.
Even a simple thing, your direction, the
Yes.
the main door faces.
Yeah,
You
and
cannot get
also
it done these days. Yeah.
not possible. Also, your toilets,
Yeah.
because there are major culprits. The toilets, northeast toilets, is the root cause of cancer. Yes.
I've seen people closing down closets because of this.
So does it work always?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
what.
possible?
Is it possible? Yeah.
Not possible. So Vastu is about changing small things into correct places and balancing the energy of the house.
Okay.
Okay, yes, there are the Vastu tools which we use as Vastu experts. At the same time, there's a second part to it, which I'm very particular. I tell my clients also, after fixing, things won't fix properly. You have to do a house cleansing.
Okay.
Now, what happens in cleansing is, you should understand that houses are made of 5 elements. And those 5 elements carry everything into that, space. And people who work there, people who built it, people who stayed previously, their sorrows,
yeah.
everything is connected to the walls.
Okay. So all these things, do they convert into energy?
Yes, very
whatever
much.
happened in that house, I mean, whether they have cried, they have laughed, whatever,
much.
all those things get converted
Very
into energy,
much.
right? And stay as energy there.
It stays as energy blocks, it stays as
Okay.
entities.
Entities. Okay.
So what happens is, it's empty spaces. They are there. Like every house. Now, when we are sitting in this room, right? Now, energy can change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where energy is different. So what happens is, energy as such has to be rectified.
Okay.
Why do you have 50 kgs of your own baggage to carry? Why you want to carry somebody
Add more
else's
to it,
ones?
yeah.
So what we do is, energy cleansing of a space is very important. Okay. We zero down. This only spiritual people can do. Okay, when you're spiritually elevated to that level where you can work on things with energy.
Okay.
So that's why I've culminated with something Vastu and energy cleansing.
Energy cleansing.
So you zero down. So when you zero down, everything is empty.
Okay.
We say kosham. This is
then
empty.
you're starting something new then.
Yes. Then we invoke Mahalakshmi or the prosperity, and then we elevate the whole energy spectrum of your house. Now, when I say Mahalakshmi, it's an energy. It's about abundance, basically. We give name, yes, but it's about abundance. And always, and house cannot be like this frequency, and house has to be like this. It's a lifeline, right?
Okay.
So when there is no this, or if it's a dip,
Down.
it's not a good energy. So that is why you see, a lot of places you feel blocks. Like certain places you feel suddenly elevated and happy.
Yeah, true.
So see, even it can be a temple also. It can be a satsang. It can be a satsang, but you can feel very dipped.
Okay.
Because there are so many people.
So many people, yeah.
Remember
true,
that.
True.
So it's not about, it is always about your own energy and your aura to be active. That's why there's something on a healing thing which I work with, aura surgeries, aura, which is again the Siddha lineage, where my guru has imparted.
What is that word, aura surgery?
Yeah, aura surgery. What happens is, now there are a lot of psychic attacks.
Okay.
Like somebody is saying, oh, Bindu's doing very well. Bindu what? She rocks. Right? I'll take your example. Why should we take someone else? 4 days you go, some major event. 5th day, suddenly Bindu has a neck pain. Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Nothing you've done.
Yeah.
Neck pain, head pain, you don't know what to do. Something is not right. Okay, then what you tell? Amma, oinid. That means, you remove nazar.
Yeah.
Mom has done that. 4-5 hours, you are very happy. 6th hour again comes back.
Comes back.
Something comes back like that means your aura is affected.
Oh, okay.
To be very clear about it.
So how do you cleanse that?
So we have a technique where we actually, it's like an operation.
Okay,
So,
that's why you said the
yeah,
surgery.
it's a surgery. So we remove, and then in aura surgery, I've seen actually daggers, psychic daggers, arrows coming out. Because see, people sitting in Scotland thinking about you, the thought, the intention, and the malefic feeling can surely pass through. Because energy, right?
Energy, yeah.
How it comes and hits you. And when will it hit you? When your aura is not strong.
Okay.
When you are at your lows.
Okay.
That is why when you take Vastu, astrology, healing, any psychic reading, everything is a map.
Okay.
Everything is interconnected or interlinked. It's an occult science in itself. And it may be new now, but it was always there.
It was always there. It was always
and
there.
Everyone was protected.
Yeah.
There was a time when I think our forefathers could see themselves in the mirror and they could predict their death.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They would say that, okay, in 3 days I'm off. Why? Because they were all so knowledgeable. They all used all sciences in life. Now what has happened is technology.
I think intuition was much powerful.
Much powerful because now the evolution of man has come down.
Yeah.
It's degraded actually.
And intuition has become it's become very choosy, and he chooses people who keep their energy levels high.
Yeah, it's also, yes, for sure, and also your intention.
Yeah.
For everything, Bindu, the moment you have a clean heart, things will manifest.
Things will manifest, yeah.
Because this manifestation bird nowadays is so high. I think the
seriously.
young children, I have a very good friend, her daughter is 13. She's like, Sneha auntie, can you please teach me manifestation? I told, what do you want to manifest, first of all? You know, she's asking me so many questions because the other day we were watching a movie. Oh, do you do astral travel? So can you teach me astral? See the exposure.
Yeah.
Exposure. So just imagine if
astral travel.
Yeah.
So you must have watched Beyond the.
Yeah. Right? So it is very easy for them.
Yes.
So these things. That's why I'm
for
telling
them it's
you.
just words, but which they don't know that has got enough.
No,
meaning.
but exposure.
Exposure. Yeah.
So
but exposure with. Ignorance.
That's very dangerous.
That is very dangerous, actually.
And extremely dangerous, which to be handled.
Exactly.
But that is what happens today. So we need to protect our aura.
As a person, how do I protect my aura without taking help from somebody?
Yeah, that's a very, very important, good question. Yes. Not every day, but whenever you feel that first thing nowadays, I don't know why children, I tell my children also, any elderly person, anyone who walks into their home space, you have to wash your feet.
Yeah.
Especially the back of your feet. From there, your problems start.
Oh, okay.
This has always been taught to us. Now, people don't remove their socks. They just put their shoes. They just walk with their outside shoes inside their house. This is inviting trouble.
Okay. Why did you mention the back of the feet?
Back of the feet is where negativity hits you the most.
Oh.
That is the most vulnerable place where feet is a very important part. If you see, if you press under your feet,
reflexology.
Yeah. So if you press under the feet, everything is connected to every part.
Okay.
So under the back of the feet is the place where any negativity hits you first. You have to wash it.
Okay.
So that is first thing where people can start with.
Okay.
Second thing is weekly once. It could be a Saturday, it could be a Wednesday, any day you feel like. Shower yourself with rock salt.
Okay.
Once a month, go dip yourself in the sea.
Okay.
These are simple things which you can
do to protect our aura.
Protect yourself. And I would not say people should not put things in social media, but don't put your kitchen, don't put your puja room. These are your private space. Yes, I understand that you're excited about certain things, but let it be private. You want to share songs, you had a good meetup with your friends. Fair enough, put. No problem. But your food is your God. You cook with so much love.
Yeah.
Once in a while you put it, no problem. Or bloggers who make food.
Yeah.
That's their
For them
job.
it's fine, yeah.
Do it. But these are things which you can take precautions, no?
Yeah.
Which
True.
you can do.
True.
And then when you feel very energy interrupted, do 5 minutes meditation in a day. Everyone. 5 minutes you can surely take out. You don't need to chant anything or any major thing. Breathe in, breathe out. And feel yourself, be with your body, understand what are the blocks. And then there are different techniques. Then you, as you said, there are so many healers. You can go to a good healer. They will teach you some techniques. They will clear out your blocks and they will guide you. So
Okay.
use that.
Since you mentioned meditation, so is it necessary? See, what I have experienced a few times is like you sit and do something that you like, and your entire focus is on that. Your entire your eye, mind, whatever it is, it's completely into that. Do you call that a meditation?
100%.
Yeah. So
Like-
it doesn't have to be something that you sit and you chant and then you do it.
Yes.
Just being yourself or into yourself by doing something that you love to do.
Like
right?
we both love doing Kerala murals.
Yeah.
I know that. That's a meditation.
Coming to that.
Yeah, that's a meditation for us,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
So
that's
a lot of women love cooking.
Yeah, for
Lot
them
of
it is,
men
yeah.
love gardening. Gardening is a very good meditation.
Meditation.
So this is very important. And the highest meditation, you know what is the highest meditation? I don't know how many people would realize this. The highest meditation where you can manifest things is anger.
Oh yeah.
When you're angry, what happens? Your focus comes in. Your subconscious opens.
Okay.
And you are at the highest spectrum. That is why in olden days, people used to say, don't let words go out of your mouth when you're angry.
Okay.
You need to realize what you're talking.
Okay.
Because that's the time when it manifests.
So I would connect that to something else. Anger, how, olden days, how all this sages and all, they used to give, curses when they're angry. So, and that used to change into the thing, right? So it is that.
It is that.
So they were at the highest point in anger.
If you ask me why them, is because they are already very much highly connected to the universal frequency.
Okay.
That is why we say the more you chant, the more you take God's name in any religion.
Yeah.
Be careful when you get angry.
Yeah.
Don't let things out
of
which should spoil somebody else's time.
Yeah.
And what happens is, it is not only you telling about them, it would be their time also bad.
Yeah, okay. Then it will.
So it's like,
easy.
Cotton and fire catching together.
True.
So you should be very careful.
True.
And you can get angry, but anger from this place.
Okay. Not
This
from here.
I have, as you asked me some time back, as a healer or things, what you've learned is, this is what I've learned in my journey, because I'm a person who used to get angry. Now also I get angry like this because, I'm a perfectionist. So some things which I don't like, I do.
Yeah, then you tend to react.
But then eventually I've learned that anger should not be from here.
Okay.
Anger should be only from here.
From there.
So you let it go.
Okay.
Finish it off.
Okay.
The moment you start stuffing things inside, then that's like a nuclear bomb.
The moment it bursts, it's
finished.
End.
Yeah. Why do you need? Do you really require it? See, it's not going to only spoil the opposite person. It's going to spoil your peace of mind.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not telling you to forgive, forget, and all those. These are all big words. How much ever you ask
It's
forgiveness.
not easy.
No. Come on. Okay, you're a human. And first of all, start accepting, I'm a normal human. I can have anger. I can have jealousy. I can have lust. I can have desires. And I don't want to forget certain things.
You have to acknowledge the emotions.
Yes. Very, very, very important word. Acknowledge what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can rebuild. You have to challenge yourself. If you are the challenger for yourself, best thing. So like today when I'm sitting with you, I'm learning something. There's always a learning curve.
Definitely.
There's always a learning
Any
curve.
person, even if it's a child, we speak to them, we are learning something.
Children are the best nowadays to learn. In fact, it's a very interesting thing. I would like to address it in Malayalam, okay? Because the other day I saw Mammuti's video. Mammuti സംസാരിക്കുകയാണ് ഒരു ഫാദറുടെ അടുത്ത്, പ്രീസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത്. ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് മുമ്പേ എൻ്റെ കുട്ടികൾ ചെറുതായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഞാനാണ് മുമ്പേ നടക്കുക. ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാനാണ് അവരുടെ പുറകെ നടക്കുക because they know the world much better than I know.
Okay, okay.
So we have to change as time comes. And that was a very beautiful statement which he made.
Okay,
It went so deep inside. What is wrong?
What's wrong here? Like how we are learning Gen Z language.
Oh,
Same thing.
you will not believe, that was really funny. So me and my husband were sitting in the car. This is about 2 years back, and both my daughters are conversing in this. And he told, no. We have to Google. We have to make sure that we learn this language because
have
we
to
don't
learn
know
the
what
language.
they're talking. So it is that way. It was a very interesting thing. Sometimes we learn from a small child also something.
True.
But the learning curve has to be
Yeah,
on.
it has to be there, You have to accept that, I can learn more things every day.
So it's very important.
Becomes easy.
Cancer healings, water healings, അതുപോലെ one more thing, healings I do something called neuro based healings, which is called 5D, which is very much, this also comes on the Siddha lineage, where it is very very trauma clearance. Bipolar where it is got out,
Oh, actually.
addictions.
We spoke about a lot of things. So I think we covered Vastu, whatever you have learned. Vastu we have covered, and then we have covered Vedic astrology. And I think there was one more thing that I think numerology you have learned, right?
Yeah.
Numerology and Kerala Prashnavidhi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, numerology is a very important factor when it comes. See, on its own, it's a very great knowledge. But when you combine knowledges, it can give a beautiful output when a person comes with problems.
Okay.
So that is the reason why I ventured and learn, or I am learning. That's the correct word. Different tools. End of the day, these are all tools to help a person.
Exactly.
That states in my name itself, Kadambari Solutions, because it's end of the day you have to be a solution provider.
Yeah.
So yes, numerology plays a very vast role. So there is a lot of game between numbers. See, everything is number game. End of the day, so numbers play a very important role in your destiny and in your day-to-day life also. Certain numbers, when you activate at certain places, it can yield you abundance.
Okay.
It can give you strength. And certain characteristics, we say, oh, why are you like this? Why you can't change? That's your number character.
Yeah.
You can't. So our let it be our Lakshmi yantra or the Losho grid, when I do Feng Shui. So that is all based on numbers. So the correct placements, when you mixed with Vastu, numerology plays an amazing role.
Okay.
So even in matchmaking,
Yeah.
that also helps a lot.
Okay.
So
which one, the numerology or?
Yeah, numerology. I'm talking about numerology helps a lot when it comes to matchmaking also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to understand, see, I've seen people following numerology. Some people believe only in astrology, and some people, they have their own kind of thing. So if someone comes to you, would they suggest that I want this done, or do you use whatever you are equipped with to give a solution? But you don't tell them that which are the techniques that you are using, that you combine everything together and then give them a solution. Is that how you do it, or you tell them that I can give you a solution through this one, like how you said, maybe the Kerala Prashnavidhi, or the astrology or the numerology, or
Okay, a very important question. Certain people are very rigid when they come to me. Like I have got clients who tell that I only want to do tarot reading.
yeah.
So I don't want to get into astrology. So then I only stick to that.
Okay.
I do, because obviously when you're even doing tarot, it's your intuitions and your spiritual energies, and also you will ask them the date of birth. So in that, I do mix a slight of these aspects, but I stick what they really require, because spiritually, when a person's sitting before you, now you are sitting before me, you don't give me permission to intervene into your aura. I should not do it.
Okay.
It's your free will.
Understood.
So I will never cross somebody's free will and do something unless it's saving their life. Yeah. So I normally don't do that. But there are certain people who are so utterly confused. They tell, ma'am, can you please suggest what is the best reading for me? Or they are regular clients. So they tell that this is what I require. Can you please suggest me? So then they're giving me a free hand. Then I decide what that time, that moment they require.
Okay.
But otherwise, if generally people come, I check basic astrology and then I decide what they require. Sometimes it's not an astrological problem at all. It's your traumas, it's your healing which is required. So I really make them sit and make them understand that this is where your manifestation is going wrong. This is where you're not able, especially relationships. When you can't, like, second marriages, divorces, these are very common, breakups. So, but you can't, it becomes a pattern. Healings are very important because it's the same trauma which you carry.
Yes.
So you cannot rectify yourself. Certain childhood traumas, that's very bad. So these are things which you can surely help through healings.
Okay.
I will never tell that you don't need to give medical attentions to things. I will take care of it.
Okay. So now we were speaking about how healing can help person's behavior or even help in relationships and understand their the traumas and why things are happening again and again, those kind of stuff. Does healing help people who are going through different medical conditions or any kind of support that they get through healing, like whether it could be mental support or strength to face what they are going through? Does healing do that? Do you help people with that?
Yes, very much. Healing is a very, very vast spectrum of things where I've had patients with depression, with bipolar, and a lot more issues where, yes, healing supports even cancer patients where they don't have that much of problems when we do healings to them. I would not say that they should have the medical support to be, in place, but healing is a alternative energy support where it helps them to recover faster and to sustain things.
Yeah, because I think basic willpower is required and that's what is supporting.
Yes. Okay. And also we do a lot more neuro healings where it helps mental blocks and, even with other kind of healings when it comes to supporting the organs. So regeneration of it and everything. This is all from the Siddha lineage of things where we do healings and it helps. And we've seen results. We've seen results in medical reports.
Okay.
The healing helps the progress of the disease to be stopped and the healing gets faster.
Okay. And I think, that also kind of gives them positive energy through life.
It's like, increasing your immune system. Mentally, emotionally, because see, any disease in your body is connected to your emotional body.
Yeah.
So if your emotional body is imbalanced, automatically it will show on your physical body.
Just something I've heard, long time back, that cancer is related directly to your trauma.
Very much.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Very much. What is cancer? Cancer is the cells are already inside you, right? It is like your own cells turning against you. It's autoimmune, right? It's also similar kind of a thing. So why does cancer happen? Why olden days we never heard about breast cancer so much? Yes, awareness is there, first thing. Now why in women? Because of suppression. You suppress your emotion. You can't talk it out. You cannot spill. And for especially our mothers' generations and all, we would say, oh no, don't spill your dirty linen outside. You can never go and speak out your problems. At least we are better generation that we just speak it out. We are bold enough. So these turn into cancer.
Yeah, whatever is suppressed.
Yes, suppressed is always turns into cancer. It is energy blocks in your body. You any pain is your energy block and your karma.
Okay. Another, connecting it to directly, another thing that I've heard is, those who do not speak out their emotions or voice their thoughts much, that ends up as throat cancer.
Yes, very much.
So it is like
very much. Yeah. It's not only that. It's also why simple. So when people come for the chakra courses and things like that, so I teach them that how every disease is connected to each part is imbalance of a chakra.
Okay.
So that is why everything is connected to your emotional body. Like now, thyroid is so common. Because you suppress, you don't speak it out because this is a very important chakra.
Okay.
Vishuddhi is a very important chakra. Same way, diabetes. It's very common, no? It's a now every second, it is obviously, we say genetics, lifestyle, everything is there. Why? Because everybody is so egoistic nowadays. Nobody wants to let go of things.
Ah, okay.
Your Manipura is affected. So everybody wants to hold the will of, like, you want to hold your life. You want to be in control of your life. That's the correct word. So they get affected. It's imbalance.
Okay.
So these things, heart attack. Why men get more heart attack than women? Because women cry.
Yeah.
And especially in India, this is a myth that men should
Men
not cry.
shouldn't cry, yeah.
It is stupidity,
Recently
but
also I heard a song in Malayalam.
nonsense. I'm sorry, but that is a very wrong thing. Why? You're also human.
Yeah,
You should
but
cry.
that's what.
Because the moment you don't cry, you start stuffing it inside.
Exactly.
That becomes a block in your heart.
Exactly.
So it is all
Yeah.
emotions. So every physical thing is related to your emotional and mental. It's very much interrelated. So healings help a lot. Healings is a very, very, very vast subject to be spoken on.
About, yeah.
But it helps a lot where we do something called 5D healings. We do NCRP. It's a neuro-based healings, which where sometimes people don't want to talk about their traumas to anyone else. So in these healings, what happens? Where we use sound waves, we take them through every part of their life, and we surface it up and release it out to sounds. But this is very effective. This is extremely effective.
So it is like even if they don't speak out their trauma,
Yeah.
you just pull it out through sound.
Yeah. And also in 5D healing, we have different techniques. We take them to that level, and that is very helpful even for addictions.
Okay.
It is very, very, and I've had live clients with me going through it and doing it and vouching for it. The best part is when you do healings, you don't need medicines after that.
Okay.
You just need to maintain it through simple meditations, or maybe continuing your certain mindset, and then we are always there to come back and they can talk to us. But it's a complete eradication from the root cause.
Okay.
So that is a very strong healing method. And also, like right now, we have in our Siddha lineage, where I told, you must have heard Prana Shakti, I don't know about it, but where we have something called SIC. It's something like a past life regression, but it goes there where your life, and we eradicate it. So some traumas, some patterns keep repeating it, and you don't know where it is coming from, and you do every possible thing, but you don't know the root cause. So we take you to that space. At that moment, we eradicate it. We correct it.
Okay. But that would have, like you said, it repeats in every life, right?
Every life.
If we follow that one. So, so even if we eradicate it in one life, how about the repetition that happened in the next one?
It is now forward, it would not happen.
Okay.
What has happened is gone. It's simple. Like certain pain.
I mean, the core one.
Yes.
Okay.
The core one. So we do have such tools, which we really help, or we use it in a pattern of healing. So healings are customized. What you require, somebody else would not require.
Would not require, yeah.
So it is looking at a person with the patterns, with what they require. It's like a case study. Every human is a case study.
Yeah.
Because your traumas are not about this life.
Yeah.
Your traumas about lives and lives and lives.
So how do you understand that the core lies in this life?
It's a process which we take through when we do healings.
So then you understand this is the exact one that is causing all these things.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. Actually, I think it's a vast one that we can talk about. Yeah. So, and I think Kerala Prashnavidhi.
Yeah,
you have learned that, right?
Yes. It was a tough journey to learn again, because in Kerala, Prashnavidhi is normally with certain families. So they hold that knowledge because they feel that it has to be passed only in their generations. So it cannot come to a person outside. So I always feel that when you have knowledge, spread it. The more knowledge you give, the more knowledge you get. But unfortunately, most of our beautiful knowledge has been lost because of hoarding of knowledge.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, yes, but I was fortunate that I got a very good, great teacher, and we got an approval from Mugambika. So I was, I could learn it and I could use it. But Prashnavidhi is a very intense process. So I don't use it for every day or everything. There are cases when it comes when I really sit and then I look into it.
Which
and
you feel that it has to be done.
Yes, there are vidhis to it. You cannot just do like that, and it's very accurate.
Which of these are you best at?
Hey,
If you assess yourself.
that's a very difficult
But
question to answer.
maybe, from what you have said, I think you combine everything and then
Yes.
you find a solution.
See, that in fact, my clients would be the best to answer what I am best at it. I feel being myself and truthful to each person who comes to me and using all these tools with the Almighty's blessing, I think I'm best at that rather than telling one thing. And obviously, my guru's grace, my parents' blessing, because I always feel that they would have done some goodness for me to think so much of goodness.
True.
So I cannot say that I'm best at it. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I think that the best asset would be the goodness in you.
Yeah, otherwise you can never do things, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because yeah, true. Because otherwise you wouldn't have the mind to help people, or like I mean, trying to get the best for them,
yeah,
right? Whatever techniques you have,
yeah.
you put the best for them,
Yeah,
right? So
especially when
that's
time is required, like especially when during wartime when we had that thing. I had at least done healing for 100 people. So I had put in a pamphlet around that whoever has anxiety or they can't sleep, just randomly just send me a photo and name. I don't need to know who you are,
yeah,
what you
what you
are.
are.
So I have got amazing response from people saying that, ma'am, we could sleep, we could not have that anxiety
Okay, okay,
on our
okay.
head. So that was a seva,
Yeah,
that was a
of course,
service,
that is some
where
service.
I
Yeah,
live in this land
yeah,
and where people require me. If I don't do that, then what is the point?
yeah.
The
That's what I
same,
said. That's your best asset.
yeah, the
The
same
mind
time
to do
Corona,
that.
yeah, same time when Corona, lot of healings. So
Definitely, people
yeah,
were in a lot of stress, and
yes,
like you said, fear.
fear. So
Yeah,
we,
so
so there are healings on a spiritual level where I can actually develop for a particular issue. So that is my spiritual growth as such,
okay.
which is a gift. So, and obviously, there is always my guru to back me up or tell me that yes, you need to do this, or you can utilize this energy into this. So this is what we can do for mankind, because the way we are going, I don't think anybody wants to think for someone else. So
True,
this was a
true.
very I was contented, because with this fighting few months before, we really required that.
Yeah,
People
true.
couldn't sleep.
People couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
True.
So whoever I could touch, I was happy.
Whoever you could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So just a tricky, funny one. If somebody is sitting in front of you, do you try to read them with whatever you have learned?
I don't, because as I told you, right, it's a free will.
Yeah, yeah.
But when an aura of a healer is there, suddenly when the people, ma'am, something is different in you. What is it like? What do you do? Kind of a thing.
Okay.
And the moment when I tell them I do this, oh, can you read this? Can you read
Ah,
that? Then I curb myself, because just imagine a room full of people, and I open my aura and I start reading each one's energy. It's not worth it
yeah, yeah. True,
unless the
true.
person wants to do it,
Okay.
unless a very strong intuition comes to me that I have to tell this thing to
Yeah,
someone,
yeah.
kind of a
Okay,
thing.
okay,
I
okay.
do tell, but otherwise I don't touch.
Okay. But again, it must have. Yeah. Phone. Okay. I don't know. So again, it might have helped you somewhere or the other, right? In a personal way, because if you feel that somebody is not right for you, or yeah, maybe this person, yeah, in those kind of assessments become better, right? Like we all tend to choose wrong people into the lives, so
But
that kind of,
actually,
yeah. You haven't.
actually, Bindu, no. Actually, if you ask me truthfully, a truthful answer, I have not. I
Okay.
have still got cheated with people. I am still getting cheated with people. People use me and go. But you know what has changed? I will tell you. I don't hold grudge.
Yeah.
I don't see them that they are doing this to me. The moment this happens to me, I thank the Almighty that one more lesson learned,
Yeah.
one more karma bag is cleared.
Cleared.
So that is the change which has happened. Because see, when people meet you, when people financially cheat you, people emotionally cheat you, what happens is you have something to give them.
Yeah, yeah.
If you stop that natural process, in spite of having that power with you, then it's wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
It is
You're
wrong.
using it for the wrong purpose.
Yes,
That's what.
why?
Okay.
Why? Let it happen, no?
Mm-hmm.
Let it happen. Yes, if there is a big disaster coming in, yes, I would. If moving a stone from here to there will help an accident, yes,
Okay.
that is fair enough.
Okay.
If God shows me that,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise for petty things, small things, no. And my worst part is I feel I don't use it for my usage of my family. That is the problem. Like it doesn't come to me. That is
Okay.
biggest problem for me is like when I am if I am working towards so many people, there is an almighty who should take care of me,
Okay.
and I know that my gurus are there, my god is somewhere there, they will take care. So that I don't. It's like I'm telling you, recent also people do behave, such things. It hurts you as a human, but thank you, good, one karma finished. That the perception changes towards
Changes.
things,
True.
no?
True. 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 That, I mean, I think it makes you a better person. Along
Yes.
with the service that you do for others, I think you also learn from them, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, whatever the stories they're saying,
Yeah, yeah.
traumas they go through, their
Yes,
emotions,
yes.
everything teaches you something or the
Yes,
other.
yes. Especially when I do karma pariharam, this is a solution which I clear astrological blocks
Okay,
and
okay,
things. It's a very strong and powerful solution when it
okay,
comes to when we say karma pariharam. Yes, this is comes from the Siddha lineage with,
okay.
but it is passed through dikshas, obviously. Yes, it has changed a lot of people's life, and that is a journey in itself, and it is no religion to it, because
Okay.
clearing karma is required for everyone. It's like,
True.
you have a bottle of water, you have mud, dust, pebbles, and then you put milk, sugar, honey. That solution is not drinkable.
Yeah, yeah,
So
true.
what this karma pariharam does is basically it acts like an alum into the water, and it cleans
Clears, yeah.
that. So that helps you, that water to be
Okay.
absorbed in your
Yeah,
body.
yeah. Okay, okay,
So
okay.
that is again one thing which I don't think anybody does. So these are all which is tools to help people.
Okay, okay. So I think we have covered most of the topic.
Yeah,
Right?
we've
A
covered a
lot of
lot.
things, but yet more to be spoken about.
Yeah.
So I hope to see Kadambari Solutions helping more and more people. So in case somebody contacts us for anything, we could just share your number,
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
right?
you can. So
Because
thank you.
I'm sure many would be interested in getting solutions.
Yes, that is important, or
Yeah,
changing their lives
changing the lives. Yeah,
for their betterment, for
yeah.
sure. And thank you for inviting me to such a beautiful space, and I love this space and this time which we spent.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
is more important.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a lovely experience.
Just one more question before we wind up. What are you planning to learn next?
Okay. Very interesting. I'm still learning, and I would be going for a spiritual
Okay.
upgradation with my
Okay.
teacher or my guru into Malaysia very soon. And also on the Prashna Vidhi side, I'm planning, or I've got a permission for the Tambula
Tambala
Prashnam.
Prashna. Okay,
So
okay.
that would be the next learning journey.
Okay.
And I'm learning now Nadi astrology.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that is still ongoing.
My God, it's like you're collecting so many things.
No, it's just a journey, and one life is very, very small.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm sure that at this age, it's not this life's knowledge which I'm using.
Yeah.
It's so many lives of knowledge which I've acquired, which is coming
yeah.
out.
True, true.
Otherwise, you cannot learn so much or gather things in a lifetime.
So, do you intend to teach all of this to someone else, or
Right
or
now,
to your
I do
students?
have a lot of students who do learn a lot of things like Akashic records.
Okay.
I teach tarot, I teach color therapies,
Ah, okay.
I teach Das Mahavidya. So then I teach the Siddha lineage, Jyoti meditation,
Okay, okay,
Jyoti
okay.
healings,
Okay.
where classes are conducted. So I do teach a lot, because
Okay.
the more you give,
the
more
you
you
receive.
receive. And we say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Teachers appear,
I
yeah.
I don't believe I'm a good teacher, but it's if they are
Yeah, but
ready,
if the student chooses you, then that you
that's
become the
it.
teacher.
I'm just giving what I have.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
So thank you so much, Sneha, because it's been a lot of discussions we did, a lot of things I learned, a lot of questions I did ask, but I'm sure it was very informative, and maybe a few tips here and there you have given. Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond Stories.